Well, hello, everyone. Welcome to a late edition of the Shifts and Pucks podcast. Of course, you can follow us on Twitter at Shifts and Pucks, Facebook.com Shifts and Pucks, YouTube.com Shifts and Pucks, Twitch.com Shifts and Pucks. Subscribe wherever you get your audio, as well as on the Area 51 Sports Network. As funny enough, it was a couple of weeks ago. It was around the 22nd of July that Matthew Tkachuk, around this time about an hour, 8 o'clock my time here in Burnaby, that Matthew Tkachuk was traded to the Florida Panthers. And then for Jonathan Huberdeau and Mackenzie Weegar, and Flames fans cheered and exploded. Now we had another late night signing. As Ryan Leslie started kind of stirred the pot, he tweeted out the eye emoji and got Flames fans all excited. And then a little bit later, Kevin Weeks tweeted something about a Western Conference team doing something. And shortly after that, Elliot Friedman, Frank Zaravelli tweeted that the Calgary Flames were close on an extension with Jonathan Huberdeau, and that has been announced and done. The Calgary Flames have announced an 8-year, $10.5 million extension to Jonathan Huberdeau, as he that is that has been officially announced from Calgary Flames Twitter, so we can confirm that. There have been some reports about the Mackenzie Weegar signing. That's not happened yet. They're still working on that. As we go there, and there we go. Okay. Sorry, it sounds like there was been a bit of technical issue with the previous live, so I'm just going to go redo all of this again. As you know, and a couple of weeks ago, Sean said on the podcast, you know what? There's going to be a late night 8 o'clock sound announcement, and Kevin's going to ask if anybody is available for emergency podcast, and we're going to say no. Guess what? Happened again. That's kind of what happened there, but that's, life happens. Everybody else is there. I'm going to do this here, and I think just basically from the simple perspective here, um, really what I think is the big thing is you've got to give Brad Treliving a lot of credit for how he handled all of this, considering the situation, considering what happened with Johnny Gaudreau, considering what happened with Matthew Tkachuk. Uh, a lot of Flames fans were down. I mean, after July 13th, the big signing that the Flames had was Kevin Rooney, and that didn't excite anybody. We were having a discussion about having a rebuild in Calgary, but you make the Matthew Tkachuk deal, you get Jonathan Huberdeau, you get Mackenzie Weegar, you sign Jonathan Huberdeau to a long-term extension, guy that had as many points as Johnny Gaudreau. And basically, you take that contract to Johnny Gaudreau, you wipe out his name, you put in Jonathan Huberdeau's name, you sign that contract, and there you go, away you go. But Brad Treliving went to work. You have to give him credit for that. Everyone else was down. We're talking about what you would get for Elias Lindholm, talking about would Michael Backlund waive? What would you do with Chris Tanev? What would you do with anybody? But Brad Treliving had a different mindset and a different idea. And I know that some people were put off by it, but I think the words that came out of his mouth on that Saturday press conference with Jonathan Huberdeau, when he was announced the Huberdeau and Weegar extension, he was pissed off. And I think he's been pissed off for a couple of weeks. I think he's been pissed off about the perception about Calgary. I think he got pissed off about some of the reports that were out there about what was going on and this perception that happened in the Calgary market. And I think he just took it and went to town, and he went to work. And this is for Brad Treliving. This is probably considering everything that happened, considering the Jonathan Gaudreau situation, considering what happened with Matthew Tkachuk, this has to be considered his best offseason. There are teams out there like Winnipeg that have not been able to make a move. They are stuck with trying to figure out what's going on with that franchise. They brought in Rick Bowness, but they've got Blake Wheeler to deal with. There are teams like the Edmonton Oilers who did sign Kyler Yamamoto, they're over the cap. The Florida Panthers are pushing towards the cap. There are a lot of teams that have not been able to get a lot of work done. And the Calgary got this trade done, got all of this trade, and one of the signings, and it's optical. You had to get it done of Calgary. You had to sign one of Huberdeau or Weegar before the season started, and he got one of that done. So considering where everybody else is, I think you got to give some kudos to what Brad Treliving pulled off here. I think it's just the acquisition cost that he got for Matthew Tkachuk, which includes, by the way, Cole Schwindt in a first round pick. The fact that he signed Jonathan Huberdeau, I think that this is just, I think this is great. I think a great job by Brad Treliving, with one small concern and one small caveat that I think has to be put into this. And I think this is something I've been thinking about. Do we give players, what are our thoughts on giving players 8-year contracts? I'm not sure if not sure I would have given, honestly, not sure. I was not comfortable giving Matthew Tkachuk an 8-year contract. I knew that was the price to do business with Johnny Gaudreau was an the same contract, and I understand it's the price to do business with Jonathan Huberdeau. But I wonder at this point if that contract is going to eventually hurt. I think we'll have to see. He's 29 now. When the contract is done, he's 37. We'll have to see. Hopefully, touch wood, it's healthy throughout his entire career with the Calgary Flames. But that's the one question. 8 years is a long time. I'm not sure what I feel about giving anybody 8 years, no matter the age, but I think that this is part of a necessary start to do business. I think this was important for the fans. I think this was important for the franchise. I think this was important for everybody involved, that you had to do that. I even think it probably was for Jonathan Huberdeau. It was necessary as well. By the way, it's in terms of just some reaction. Treliving said today, this is from Wes Gilbertson, we are excited to extend Jonathan long-term in Calgary. He is an elite player, one of the premier forwards in the league, who makes players around him better. We look forward to welcoming Jonathan to our community and his contributions to our team's success. Huberdeau's thoughts were, I'm thrilled to be part of the Calgary Flames organization long-term. I'm excited for this new chapter, and I am committed to this team. I'll give everything I have and on and off the ice, and can't wait to play in front of the passionate Flames fans. So those are some comments. So that is done, Sarah. And, there's still, as mentioned here, there's still a lot to go on here. You still have, and you wonder what's happening with Nazem Kadri. You have to, where is he signed? Is he signed with the Islanders? That's what everybody's thinking. We're not sure. The Flames have a dearth of defensemen, that one that is going to have to move at some point here. We'll have to see. There's so many other moving parts here. As mentioned, there's teams close to the cap or over the cap, and there's teams that haven't done a lot. You think about Winnipeg. I brought up Winnipeg. You even got Toronto. Devin talked a little bit about Toronto a couple weeks ago, and they have some things that they need to get done as well. They're going to have to make a trade. They're over the cap. There's still some free agents out there that are really interesting. Evan Rodriguez is an interesting free agent out there that sort of under the radar. There's still some teams also that need to get to the floor. So it's really fascinating what is going on here. I think we're going to have a very fascinating August, and we've had a few signings, and now we have this big signing with Jonathan Huberdeau. We do have a poll on Twitter. You can react to let us know what you grade that contract, A, B, C, or D. And it's so right now, just looking at the poll here and follow us, of course, on Shifts and Pucks, by the way. And I think most people are, just as I look here, looking at right now, it's an A or a B, really. That's kind of where everybody's at. 36% A, 33% B, D to F, 12%, C, 18%. I think the one question is the length of that contract, maybe, but we'll see. But Jonathan Huberdeau, one of the best left wingers in the league, signs an extension for the Calgary Flames. What do you think? Let us know. Give us some comments. We'll have some reaction, of course, when we're back all together on Monday. and we've got some other things going on. So give you my reaction. Just keep in touch with us. You can follow us all individually on Twitter. Sean Beardy Canuck 03, Tyler TNOBLE, Christian Schneid's SCHNAIDZ. I am Kevin KEVOLE, Devin Gordhow 09. Let's not forget him and his robe. And as well, of course, Shifts and Pucks Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch. Subscribe wherever you get your audio, as well as on the Area 51 Sports Network. Thanks everyone for watching, listening, and we will talk to you all very soon. Bye for now.